Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I listened to the testimony today, and I understand the need, obviously, I believe, for both Game Commission and the Fish Commission. I'm going to address my concerns right up front because I do have to leave and won't be able to stay for the whole meeting. But the Fish and Game and the Game Commission are set up as independent agencies. And it was made very clear last session when we looked at ways to actually have some oversight over some of the studies that you do on land on endangered species, and which there is no oversight other than because you're an independent agency. So you actually have more information on private property than the property owner, and you do not share that, nor will you even share how you make those determinations with the public. Limited oversight that we have as a legislative body is controlling your increases in licenses and the appointment process to the Board of Commissioners, which was changed because I think a lot of members feel that there isn't enough oversight. And people come to my office and complain to me. I have to be responsive to the public. The question earlier was, is the Game Commission responsive to the sportsmen? I don't always see that. I can say that it has gotten better. I want to really commend the WCOs in our area are doing a phenomenal job. They are stretched very thin, and I understand the need for more WCOs. However, I think it's a lot to ask for us to give up the only oversight that we really have over agencies that have more authority over our private property than we do or anybody else. You can come into anybody's property and make a determination of the potential for an endangered species and render that property undevelopable and really don't have even the authority to question it. So the only authority we have is these fees and licenses, and to give that up. I mean, I can understand the need for increasing maybe some of these fees. Maybe I don't understand it. Maybe I don't know if I would support it or not, but it's a lot to ask for this legislature to just step back and give you and every future director of the Game Commission and the Fish and Boat Commission this unchecked authority. I think it would be foolish on our behalf to do that. Thank you.
If I may respond to that, in addition to what my previous comments were about the 328 being changed a decade or so ago that brings us before this committee every year to report, there's also been recent changes where our commissioners' term limits have been reduced to 4 years for all new members. So you would have some oversight over the board, as well as the fact that it would not be the director of the agency making that decision. Staff may put together a recommended package, but would have to go through a regulatory process and pass through an entire board to be passed.
And I understand that I actually sponsored some of that legislation that was passed. And I want to say that I am a sportsman. I hunt, I fish. I think there needs to be more deer and more fish, but that's another subject. But aside from that, even it will go through a regulatory process, but it wouldn't go through a legislative process. And we all in here, despite our party or beliefs, work very hard for the constituents in our districts. We are accountable to them. We're there at the fire company breakfast on Sunday morning when they have a gripe and they're going to come to us. And I want to be able to say that we have some influence on this process, knowing that your charge is to protect our natural resources and those state game lands and hunting opportunities, but knowing that our charge is also to protect our constituents. And that's how I'm very concerned with this legislation. I think it'd be more practical to maybe look at rate increases rather than, a blanket overall say, well, going forward, legislature is not going to have anything to do with this at all. Thank you.